Hi guys, welcome back. All right, so I wanted to at least get one collective message out today. I may be gone most of today, possibly into tonight. I've got to go support a friend. So with that in mind, I just wanted you guys to know if I don't see you again until properly anyway, until tomorrow, that'll be why. But I'm going to try to get back in time tonight. We have the Tower. The collective message here could begin with a divine masculine, doesn't have to. Could be an Aries as well, but I don't like to be too narrow about that. We simply have the energy of somebody who is having a very big collapse. Now, I like the Tower card. It tends to be a collapse of ego, or it frees someone so their mind can be more open, or it frees them up so that they can make new decisions in life. The only thing is the Tower sometimes happens not when we ask it to, but when it's in our greatest and highest good. And that can be hard to recognize when it's just like, whoa, everything's falling apart. I didn't ask for this. Yes, but it's still usually the universe doing it for us, not to us. Now, in this case, this divine masculine who may be having a big old collapse may, with the Six of Wands coming up next, this almost feels as if they're very either shocked or stunned, or maybe they didn't know something about possibly a divine feminine. Maybe they're just finding out that, oh my God, this is somebody who's, quite special, or this is somebody who does quite a lot. This is somebody who has achieved a great deal. Okay, we have the Devil. Hang on. Are they getting like really impressed and also really like almost intimidated and a little bit obsessed? And I'm wondering if at one point in time, that is just not at all the way they imagined their mindset would be. That is not at all what they thought they would feel toward her. Let me ask. Tell me about the Tower. Tell me about the Tower, because I'm definitely reading that as a separate person who's stunned by her. We have a Queen of Pentacles. We have an Eight of Swords. Okay, I'm sorry. This could sound a little bit rude here, but I'm wondering if he had told himself kind of a happy little tale that this amazing divine feminine that he viewed as somebody who likes to serve, somebody who's very giving, was stuck on him. Had maybe been kind of like, oh, she's great, she's doing a ton, but I know she's, as much as she might be like developing something in her own life, like monetarily or something. I mean, I know she's stable, but I also know she's stuck, and I kind of like that. I'm wondering if this, remember, the Tower brings down ego. So I'm reading this from an egotistical viewpoint that is just dropped, which is if he kind of happily imagined that this feminine might have been stuck on him. Now he's realizing she's not stuck on me. She doesn't even hurt over me. She's not sad over me. She's not missing me. She's that Five of Swords there in the reverse. She's not even mad anymore. I kind of thought she was still thinking about me. We get the Nine of Wands sideways. We have the Queen of Swords sideways. I do think all this time he was still pretty sure she spies on me. I bet she does. She still kind of hurts over me. I bet she does. And now it's like, was I wrong about all that? Because somehow he is seeing her as like extremely successful, very alluring, very sexy, let me ask this. If you are, how are you discovering this? Let's just jump ahead, okay? Because I was going to ask kind of a rude question, but instead let's jump ahead and say, how are you finding this out about her? We have the Fool. This could be, he hears something, she does something kind of bold, something really brave, something that puts her on the map a little bit. He hears through the grapevine that she's changed something big in her life. She's moving, traveling, shaking things up. She's doing something different in her life. How do you find out about this? He's the one spying on her. Wouldn't you know it? The High Priestess. Something prompts him to like take a peek, peer between the curtains, check out what she's doing, and he discovers she's someplace else entirely. She's changing something massive in her life, and that's where he realizes maybe he hasn't spied on her in a while, and now he suddenly is, and he didn't realize what a different creature she is, what a sexy individual, what a powerful, what a well-received, respectable, powerful individual she is. She might be like receiving awards and things like that also, and maybe he didn't know that about her. Oh God, everything here says he realizes she left her memories of him in the past a long time ago. She's been done and over him for a long time, and he's just now finding that out, which is tremendously like he's sad about this. You notice that the little bird is here. It is kind of like a guide said to him, hey, you know that person that you imagine you know so much about, check them out. There's going to be some interesting information that pops up. What I don't know is, why were you liking the idea that she was stuck on you? Six of Pentacles, because then there was still this hope that somehow, some way, he'd end up back working with her again. Somehow, some way, she still remembers me. She still holds on to me. She still is out there thinking of me. And now you know she's not. What does that mean for you now that you recognize she's been over you for a while? King of Cups sideways. Well, there's definitely the flood of emotion where he still loves her, but there's also the like that little twist, I think, in the pit of his stomach, like, but she's supposed to still love me. You know, there's an arrogance, you know, a karmic energy there to the King of Cups being sideways. Six of Wands sideways. She's supposed to still love me and want me. That gave me empowerment to think that she loved me and wanted me, and now that's being 50% of that's being taken away. How did she get over me? I mean, I really think that's the bottom line. Like, this is very deflating for him. And again, he just keeps picturing, she walked away from me. I can't believe it. She walked away from me. She left me in the dust. Okay, but here's the thing. It seems like in this storyline, the two of you have not talked in a long time. Why did you think she was somehow waiting on you? Why did you think that that would be the way this would go? Page of Pentacles sideways. Queen of Cups upright. Nine of Swords upright. Okay, so this is somebody who procrastinated in a huge, huge, huge way. They didn't reach out. They didn't talk to her, but they always were like, but I know that there's this one person on this planet who loves me unconditionally. And I'm really scared to reapproach, but I love her. She is my Queen of Cups. We are a matched pair. No matter what happens, I know I still feel her energy. She still loves me. She holds space for me. There's always this. She was like his sure thing. She was the, like somebody who does, let's say it this way. If somebody does like disaster preparation, and in the back of their mind, they're like, you know what? It makes me feel really good to know that I have, you know, jugs of water and canned food and stuff like that. But let's say they leave that stuff someplace tucked away, and in the back of their mind, they're always like, I know I've got this, you know, I've got disaster preparedness. But let's say they didn't store it properly. And let's say the stuff that they bought was actually just gross. And let's say they haven't checked on it in a really, really long time. And all that supposed preparedness that was like money in the bank in the back of their mind, turns out everything's rotted, some rats got in, things are contaminated. They got no backup. So they squandered what they had while still trying to think, I've got this in the bag. I've got this. I always have this in my back of my mind. I've got this awesome thing that I can rely on. And they're realizing, no, that's not what they have. They've been too scared to move toward her for a long time, not spoken a word to her, petrified, thinking about her, being in love with her, but still saying, but I'm too scared to approach her. I don't know why they gave themselves that level of like pass in this. Like, hey, I'm Nine of Swords in my way through this, so I'm not going to approach her or talk to her, but I still know she loves me. Three of Cups in the reverse. They didn't want to reach out to her. I don't understand. You were so scared to reach out. You didn't want to reach out. Three of Swords. What's the deal with did they not want to say that they had betrayed her somehow? But they still wanted to believe that she loves me and she doesn't know I betrayed her. And I'm too scared to reapproach. I'm going to let more time pass. Then that question will never come up. Then someday, maybe they were waiting for a 7-year mark, and then I'll reach out to her and I won't ever have to talk about what I actually did. Hang on. Three of Swords. What's a Three of Swords? That looks like a betrayal. The Tower sideways. It's something that would have ended this. This person. I do not like this person. I do not like any of this. That ego. This was a plan on, like, if I did something that would have ruined this, but I know she loves me and I really love her, but man, I screwed this up royally. Yeah, it's definitely about, I want to keep a secret. I'm always going to keep a secret. So I'm just going to stay away from her long enough that at some point there will be so much time that's passed that the past won't even be a conversation anymore. And then I won't ever have to admit something, and that secret will remain intact. And she won't even, by the time so much as time has passed, she'll never think to ask. Well, now they're realizing with the Five of Cups, look, this person, they have shame, they have regret that is monstrous. This is somebody that they have lost absolutely everything. They lost her, and they realize that now. They have some tremendous regret about what they did, because they already lost her. They already knew that they couldn't come back into her world because of whatever this betrayal was. But their plan was, I can undo this by just waiting it out and then coming back in at some point. In the meantime, I just really have to miss her a ton. What was the betrayal? I know it's your secret. Oh my God, were they actually still married? Were they married? And they're like, okay, I was married. I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to wait a long time. Then I won't be married anymore. Then I won't ever have to admit that in the past, I'm guessing that this person probably did something where they like ghosted or something to avoid admitting the truth of something. Yeah, we definitely have three people here. That Three of Pentacles, the Four of Swords. I'm just going to go silent though. Here's our silence. I'm just going to let a whole bunch of time pass. Yes, I was married. Maybe she even kind of knows, but not in so many words. And so instead, I was still financially connected to somebody else while I was trying to build something with her. Then I just went silent, and I just thought, you know what, I'll just let a whole bunch of time pass. And then when I come back around someday, that won't even matter anymore, because it'll be so long ago that I, lied my way into her life. And then she won't even, we won't even have to talk about that. There won't be any look closer at what I did in the past, because the past is just the past. I am so glad that she has moved on. I am so glad, because everything about this person speaks volumes of immaturity, lack of respect, lack of integrity. Like everything here, oh my God, this character had this big old plan on how to weasel out of things by doing nothing. Like, this is kind of mind blowing to me that would have been the plan that a character rolled with. I'll just wait a really long time. What a weasel. I'm sorry. This is such weasel behavior. The Temperance. Yes, but I just wait for the dust to settle, and that way I never have to take responsibility. That's what I do. I let things rebalance, recalibrate. Well, here's the thing. Things did rebalance and recalibrate, but in her favor. Look, I don't even know. Was she upset about this? Did she know about their, whatever their lies were? This says that they were married. So we're just going to go with that storyline. I doubt she didn't know this, but let's just see. Feminine, did you know this? Please bear in mind, this could be a feminine, masculine, this could be a same-sex couple. She says, I knew that they were very self-serving. Nine of Cups. It was all about whatever they wanted, whenever they wanted. Their cup needed to always be filled. It was all about their happiness, whatever they wanted. We've got the Page of Wands is sideways, and we got the Eight of Cups. She didn't really know that they were married. She kind of assumed that maybe they weren't that interested in her. It was brief, it wasn't very deep, and then they wandered off in a new direction. So she didn't even say, oh my God, I think that they're married, I think they're lying, I think they love me and want me, but no, she just chalked it up to they weren't that interested, because they seemed to have just meandered away. So in her mind, they just left the situation. She probably then isn't the kind of person who assumes all kinds of stuff. She probably is like, well, I only deal with things that are actually in my life. And if something's not in my life, it's probably not my problem to deal with then. If they meander away, or if something can peel them away so easily, then they aren't that interested in me, which means they're probably not my person. We don't see her with this Knight of Wands in the reverse. We don't see her assuming that they're a cheat. We only see her assuming that they didn't feel like sharing or giving to her. So she doesn't know that they actually, loved her, thought she was the Queen of Cups. She doesn't know that they had some very bizarre grand plan to just wait out and not tell her truths, and that they've been keeping tabs on her. I think I think this for her was like, look, they were a page, a knight, a nine of cups. They were just all kind of like minor arcana, meaning they weren't a major player in her life. I'm thinking, feminine, did you get over them fairly quickly or let this go quite some time ago? Because this is what it's starting to feel like. We have got the Knight of Cups sideways. She may have waited for a bit, wondering, are they at any point gonna like decide that they have emotion for me? I don't know. It almost feels like she's like, I didn't really know what to make of it. I kind of thought that maybe they would decide that they were interested, but I didn't know for sure. So, oh, so she was stressed. We have a 9 of swords. In fact, it could have been one of those things where she was like, I don't know. Are they somebody who had any emotion for me or not? She may have just internalized it and started to ask, how come somebody doesn't know if I'm good enough to care about? Okay, that really sucks if it made her question like whether or not she was lovable or interesting enough, because his little dirty secret over here is that he was nuts about her, he believed like, oh my God, she loves me. She'll always love me. I know this is so deep, so powerful. She's my Queen of Cups. I'm her King of Cups. But of course, because I lied to her, I'm not going to admit to that because I don't take responsibility for anything because it's a huge freaking betrayal and I don't want her to hate me. So I'll just run away from her. But I always know she'll still want me. And someday when enough time passes where she'll never ask me any questions, then I'll be back. That is a bizarre plan in this story. Super bizarre. But that's not at all how it played out in her mind. Her mind was like, yeah, they weren't that into me. I don't really know why. It seems like I get people that just aren't that into me. I'm not really sure. It kind of stresses me out, wondering what the hell is missing. Nothing was missing. I mean, come on, she is a freaking hottie. She is smoking hot. And he's been nuts in love with her all this time. She really did some deep thinking about what a 10 of Cups would be like. Will she meet a 10 of Cups? Is that in her future, or is that something that doesn't exist for her? So she only like internalized because she assumed she was not of interest to someone. In this story, I do think it's important to say, oh no, you were of great interest to him. He wasn't honorable, but you were very important to him, have always been, so much so that you have been his fantasy, his wish come true, in his back pocket. She's the one I'm going to get with someday once I think I can weasel my way around what I've done and not admit to her that I was dishonorable right out of the gate. So I'm going to do more dishonorable stuff. And then someday I can still have her because this is the person I want. This is such a huge misfortune for her to have met somebody like this. But then again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this pushed her to think through a thought process. I love the fact she didn't take this as like this was oh so serious. It just made her question, what is a 10 of Cups? Universe, do you want to weigh in and give her one piece of advice at this moment in time? King of Wands, 3 of Wands. The universe says, baby, make all these changes, move forward, look to your future. You have got a wonderful King of Wands on the horizon for you. There is real love up ahead. Keep moving, keep putting them in the rearview mirror, keep moving towards your future. Your future looks very, very different. Don't even worry anymore about like somebody who didn't seem to be that interested in you. You don't even need to know the story behind that. If they weren't honorable enough to be with you, just leave that behind. You don't even need to think about the past. Only full steam ahead to the future. Your great love is ahead. Somebody who's so warm, so loving, who is going to be so thrilled to be with you. Even though, I mean, on one hand, in this storyline, the universe is not even like wanting to bring up, listen, don't let that hurt you in the past. They really did love you. The universe is like, fuck the past. Only look to the future. The past doesn't matter. They weren't worthy of you. They were playing games. They weren't grown up enough. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Let's just do the future. The future has a hottie in it. The future's got this wonderful King of Wands. Okay, I totally appreciate the fact that there's no point in even discussing anymore the past. But universe, do you have anything to say to this person who's come out with the Tower? The Hanged Man sideways. I kind of feel like they're still in the timeout chair. I feel like it's time for them to contemplate all of these delays. It's time. The universe is like, so what'd you learn in all this time that you held back from the person that you loved, that you didn't want to admit your secret to? What'd you learn about all that? Temperance. This could also be, remember all the delay that you created? Well, those were big gaps of time for her as well, which means she's gone on and found peace and calm. Have you thought about when you don't take responsibility for things and if you're sitting there for years or months in silence, you're giving her those gaps of years and months of silence to move on with her life and for her to find balance. You were thinking that you'll wait until everything is resolved. You were correct. Everything is resolved. But in this case, it's almost like it's resolved for her. And you're just now realizing that. Ace of Cups. She learned how to love herself. So I kind of think that the universe is like, contemplate what do you think happened in all this gap of time that you sat there and you let there be this huge space. You wanted things to be calmed down. You're right. It did. You wanted her to not know your secret and for things to be forgotten. You're right. She forgot you. She's moved on. I mean, I think that's the way I would interpret it. Now, this could also be that the universe is saying to him, you need to get right with yourself. It's just that she's here on the card, which is why I was reading it like it's the universe's message to them about her. But this says, you've got these things to be mindful of. You've got these, maybe you need to love yourself more. We've got the Ace of Swords and we got the Eight of Pentacles sideways. It's a little bit like they have a lot of work to do. They have a lot of truth to seek in themselves. They have a lot to maybe stitch back together. They have a lot of work to do on themselves. And for them maybe to understand why, if they can't be truthful, they probably can't be with somebody like her or with anybody that they supposedly love if there's not truth there. And they're going to have to work really hard on maybe their relationship with the truth. Can we just ask one last thing? Divine Masculine, speaking maybe from your higher self, why did you do it this way? Why did you hide something from her in the first place? Prince of Cups, I really wanted to be with her. I loved her. I wanted to be able to come toward her. I did come toward her. I wanted to be her hero. I didn't want her to see me as a liar. Death card. I knew I needed to change things in my life and I wanted to be a hero in her eyes. Okay, so their motive here was not to be like, ooh, I'm just going to cheat with somebody else. It's that he didn't want her to know anything about like, look, if you can't be somebody's hero, if you are first married, hiding that from them and trying to get with them and falling in love with them. He's like, I don't want anything that's going to tarnish my vision of being a hero in her eyes. So I just wanted to hide this from her so that then I can, I'll just be the hero that she would know me as. I just wanted to be her hero. Oh, that didn't work. That did not work out. Did you learn something out of this? Because she's moved on now. The Judgment card, he's like, yeah, I learned that I should have tried to reconcile a long time ago. Look at the echo of all those empty nights. I learned that, she reconciled with this by jumping through a portal and leaving now. She's left this timeline. I don't know. They just acknowledge that she moved on. That's kind of what they learned out of that. I'm not sure that's the lesson of it. I would think the lesson was a little bit more about you, but look, their lesson is I lost her because I left her alone for a really long time and now she's moved on. Okay, universe. Well, actually, no, feminine. What are you going to do right now? Let's use this instead to talk for her. Page of Cups. She's maybe ready for new love. She's maybe ready to be attracted to somebody else. She's maybe ready to meet somebody else, see how that goes. We got the Four of Swords. That Four of Swords is like, I could definitely see me, like really healing. I could see me possibly meeting somebody else. I could see me interacting with somebody else. This is starting to look pretty good, right? This is starting to look pretty darn good. So I feel like for her to be in this energy of like, I could see me healing. I could see me looking at somebody else. Yeah, that's something I could do. We got a Queen of Coins. There she is again. She has regrouped and reclaimed her own self. I think she's done enough healing. I think she's pretty whole. I do think that this is now in her past, and she's just steadfastly moving forward. And we certainly see that since we've got the universe saying, pay attention to the future, look ahead. Let's do one last message here for universe about her future. Is she going to be able to like gravitate toward it? Remember, the universe was saying, just look to the future. There's a King of Wands up ahead. The universe is like, damn, Skippy. She's going to be that Queen of Wands to this King of Wands. She's got everything will fall into place. I feel like she may meet this person fairly soon, somewhere between the next 3 months, 3 days to 3 months. But I see her moving forward and ending up that part of the power couple. Really amazing. Hey guys, good to see everybody. All right, y'all. I will see you guys later on. I will probably try to get back here late tonight. I got to go support a friend, but I will be away. Everything's prepped, ready to go, so I got to take off. But if I can get back in time, I will see you guys late tonight. Okay, lots of love. Bye for right now, everybody. Rare Lestrange, Jeannie Vale, Ginger Montague, Lori, DTC, DDCT. Hi. Hey, Samonita. Yes, I'm great. I hope everybody's doing really well. All right, you guys, take care. Bye.